Hello, everyone. I'm just getting everything sorted out. So, just need you. I'm just hoping that you can hear me, okay? Because I've been sorting all my computer equipment out. So we're finally back online. Whoop-de-doo. I've had a fight with British Telecom over the last few days, trying to get them to sort this stuff out. So it looks like we're all back and connected and stuff now, which is great. So during my brain has gone numb. How typical is that? During my period of not being able to do this because of the internet, I had quite a few people asking me when I was doing the next live stream in regards to Sanguinaire. So that'll be today. I haven't had a lot of time to do work on Sanguinaire recently due to various problems that have been coming up. You wouldn't even believe, seriously, you wouldn't even believe the number of things that have happened recently. The car busted, the TV blew up, then the secondary TV blew up. And then we caught flu, and yeah, we just had loads of things happening, basically. So I'm going to do the next part of the development during this stream. So, yep. Okay, let me dive into the creation kit. So, what I'm going to be working on today is mesmerization level 4 for the vampires, which is the ability to create thralls out of ordinary mortals. That's what we're doing. If you have chat, let me know if you can hear me all right, because I'm not entirely sure if it's working as it should be. I can't see any problems on the live stream manager, but it's always a good idea to check when you have things going wrong in your house in general. Oh, that was the other thing. The Hoover exploded. No, the Hoover didn't explode. The Hoover end broke as well. So now I have a Hoover with no end bit. So there you go. Lady Luck has not been shining nicely on us recently, let's say. But no matter. I will resist the temptation to be annoyed with the universe and lose myself in my stuff that I do, which is this. Come on, creation kit. Bloody hell. It takes so bloody long. It takes so bloody long. This machine that I am running is an insanely powerful machine that can literally run anything. And it's still slow. That's Bethesda for you, isn't it? That's Bethesda technology for you. Arrgh. Hurry up. Hurry up, you bloody thing. Today would be nice. Today would be nice. Today would be nice. You painful piece of poo. Oh, I've just noticed. What's going on there? Have I forgotten to change the tab? No, I haven't forgotten to change the tab. It's just not working. What? So I can see that you're still, you guys are still seeing the live stream will begin soon, but that's not the tab I've got it on. What is going on there then? Or is my thing just being silly? Let's try refreshing the thingy bob. Nope, it still says it. Why is it still saying it? Okay, Not a good day to be having problems, is it? No. I'm just going to open up a different tab so I can check that it's not just the manager software being stupid. Bear with me a moment, chaps. It's always the same. You test everything and it's all fine. And then you go live and everything stops working. Oh, come along, Windows. Right. Where's my live stream on the actual thing? Can you see the my screen though? Because it's when I'm looking at the preview, it's showing it's showing me the hold screen. So I think something's gone weird. I'm just checking. I'm actually loading the live stream itself on a different device so I can see if it's doing what it should be. Oh, it is. I think Windows. Okay. I think the management software was just being stupid. I think the management. Oh, hurry up! God damn you, Windows. Yeah, that's working. Okay, it's just the management software being stupid. Right, okay, fine. I can see that it's working now, so that's good. Right, let's continue on then. Right, okay, so what I'm going to be doing today, as I said a minute ago, for anyone who wasn't here at the time, is I am going to be working on the next part of the mesmerization stuff for Sanguinaire today. I haven't had a chance to do it in advance of this live stream because everything's been going wrong, as sometimes happens in life. But at least you'll get to see the process I go through to do this. So, I've done all of the mesmerizations up to level 3, which is good, because that took forever. It was really, 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 really boring, because I had to go through loads and loads and loads and loads of different dialogue entries and set it all up, and it took bloody ages. Luckily, this is a bit different. So, right, let's have a look. Oh, where's the chat box gone now? Bloody hell. Right. My technology's all being silly today. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create a function for creating thralls, and then we're going to tie that into a nice bit of dialogue, make it nice and easy. That's not the right script. Right, so we're going to make a new script for this. I think we will do that. Right, okay, so player request make a rule. Oh no, me. Follower. Bing. Okay, so what we need to do, this should be quite easy actually, because essentially when you're making a follower, you just, hi Aaron, yes, got it fixed. It's all fixed and working. It's all good now. That's assuming it doesn't suddenly decide to break in the middle of this live stream. Don't curse it, please. So this should be quite easy to do, because essentially we're just creating a function that turns non-followers into followers and makes them obedient to you in every way that we hope. So I'm going to make a copy of the function I already did for the vampire turning follower thing. In here. Okay, so make new rule follower. So so I'm just reading your message. Yes, as I said, I've said this in my previous live streams, but you may not have been viewing at that time. Basically, when I have finished the reboot for the Skyrim version, I'm going to also do a reboot for the Fallout version, and yes, it will be on console as well when it's done. I hope that answers your question. Essentially, all we're really doing here is turning non-follower NPCs into follower NPCs. So this will use the vanilla follower system. So if you're using a follower mod, yes, it will also work with that. It will just add them to the correct factions and make sure they have the correct stats set up in order to do what you want them to do. So what we need to do first is we need to make sure there's nothing in here that's specific to vampires, because these are going to be mortals. Okay, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Yeah, that's fine. But we do need to make a slight change here, which is because we're putting them under our thrall. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't see your message on the Nexus. I haven't signed in because my internet's been down. Literally, it only came up. It only came back up today. I've had my ISP sorting my internet out today, so they literally sorted it out today. So I've literally only had mobile data up until about 2 hours ago, so I haven't been on the Nexus. So I apologise. I didn't see your message. Right, we need to make one small additional change from the vampire one, which is we need to set their morality so that they will obey your commands. Now, I need to quickly check what morality scores do what, because I have actually forgotten. Oh no, we don't want to see bloody news. Go away. Go away, news. No, we don't want Google Translate either. That's just silly. Stop it. Right, I just need to quick... What the freaking hell are you doing? Apparently my computer has decided it's possessed. No, I don't want maps. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Right, okay, so Skyrim CK morality. I just need to check which one I want specifically. I think it's 3, but I need to check. Give me the bloody web page. Right. Morality, where is it? There it is. Right. No crime. The actor will refuse to commit. Oh no, okay, so we want this one. We want 0. And we need to make sure that their morality gets set to 0, because they're under your thrall, and therefore they should do whatever you bloody well say. Okay, regardless of whether it's bad or not. Oh, bugger. But I will let you know, however. Thanks a bunch. I have also have a PC I built so I can work with that for a while. Also, I had noticed the mod breaks. I don't know what pre-combines is. I apologise. Can you clarify what it's actually breaking? I'm not actively working on the Fallout Sanguinaire right now. The reboot will replace it. But if you let me know what exactly the issue is, I will look at that to prevent it in the reboot. Hello, safe. Right, save. Right, okay, I just need to quickly grab some script properties from here. Put these in. There we go. Oh. Oh, I see what you mean. I've never experienced that issue in testing. You are actually also the first person to report it to me, so it's hard for me to say whether Sanguinaire is responsible. There was an issue. There was an issue that I did update, which was that there was what do we call it? Stack errors that were looping and causing a memory issue. I did sort that out, so make sure you've got that version. But as I say, one of the purposes of the reboot will be to overcome issues that I had the first time around, because I have a lot more experience in the creation kit now than I had then. So I can do a lot more with it now, and in better ways, using better methods as well. So the reboot will definitely be a lot more stable than the original. Okay, right, that's that. Okay, so we've got our function, so now we need to link it up. Oh my god, it's noisy outside today. Right, now I need to link it up to the dialogue, so we need this function. Need to make sure. Right, okay, so we're going to go over, we're going to save this first, because I don't trust Bethesda's game engine not to crash every 10 seconds. Right, now we're going to create the dialogue, and then we're going to link the two up. No, it's not that one. I want that. So essentially, we're going to use, because we're talking about mortals, I'm going to use the same conditions that I used for the feed dialogue, but we will have to tweak it slightly. We also need to create a faction for our thralls, so that the game can recognize they've been enthralled and therefore are no longer enthrallable because they're enthralled already. So, right, faction. Oh, I've already got one. That's good. I don't remember doing that, but apparently I have one. What's it used by? Oh, it's used by the morality system. Okay. But we haven't linked it up yet to anything else. Okie dokie. Right. Good. Marvellous. So, let's create a new one of these. So we'll start off with something programs like Nifscope. I have right, first to answer Aaron, the number of thralls you'll be able to have will be unlimited, because it will literally just place them in the factions required for them to be followers. So if you're using a follower mod, then you can have as many with you as you like. If you're not using a follower mod and you're using vanilla follower system, you can make as many as you like, but you're restricted to however many followers the game is allowing you to have. But you'll be able to make as many as you want. So I'm going to right, to answer commission administrator. I've used Nifscope very briefly, but I don't use it because I haven't needed to use it. The eyes that I did for the vampires in Fallout Sanguinaire are just a texture, because Fallout has a function. It's actually very useful. Fallout has a function that Skyrim doesn't have, which is you can swap out head parts without from code, which you can't do in Skyrim. So I can I created the images for the eyes, and then literally my scripting tells it to change the eyes based on your humanity level, and of course same with the teeth. So Path of Purity, you don't have the vampire teeth, and then you do afterwards, and then if you get down to low enough vampire level, it does humanity level, it does actually change your teeth to more monstrous ones. But no, I've never really had a need to use Nifscope. The only time I have is when I was working with Skyrim and I wanted to remove the annoying eye glow, so I used it to do that. But other than that, I'm not really the kind of modder that does modelling. However, with regards to what you just said about trying to make a mod, if you drop me another message, because I could read my Nexus messages now because my internet's back up. If you send me another message on there, I'll have a conversation with you. I might be able to help you if you're trying to make a mod. Maybe I can offer some advice or potentially aid with some stuff. Alright, so with this, I'm just going to do something simple for now. So you will... you now exist to serve me. We will update this and make it more immersive at a later time. We can make this more immersive later, but for now we just need to get it working. So we're going to use a shared response for this one because it's no point writing dialogue for every single NPC voice type when there's no need to. We're going to paste those conditions in here. Well, speaking of humanity, level I noticed destroyed. Ah, yeah. Right. I will explain this to you. It is deliberate, but only in certain circumstances. One moment. Oh, shut up out there. I don't know if you could hear that. Bloody police sirens. They always start as soon as I start recording. If I'm not recording, it's silent. No police sirens. The second I start doing any recording, they start going out in mass. It's like they know. It's like they're monitoring my computer. And they're like, oh, he's online. Quickly, let's mess up his audio. Okay, so humanity. The humanity system in Sanguinaire is based on this, which is the World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade. 20th Anniversary Edition. And one of the conditions for losing humanity is property damage. But it depends entirely on which factions you are aligned with and stuff like that. So if they're enemies... If the owner faction of the turret is an enemy or a hostile faction, that's when it doesn't. If they're friendly and non-hostile, before you decide to attack them, that is, then it knows. And but humanity, destroying turrets or other property only affects you to a certain extent. So it's the same in Skyrim. If I quickly find the humanity scale, I can tell you. I think it's 5. I think it's humanity 5 that it takes you down to. It can't drop you more than that. I'm just quickly checking my. Yeah, I know, it's bloody weird. Every time as well, it's like something up there does it deliberately to annoy me. But you know how it is. Over here in the UK, I don't know what part of the world you're in, but in the UK we call it Sod's Law. And Sod's Law is essentially the guarantee that the most irritating thing that could possibly happen will wait until the exact wrong moment and then decide that it's going to annoy you. Just when you don't need it. Where the bloody hell is my humanity thingy? What's it? I can't find it. Oh, I feel goofy now, don't I? Oh, bloody goofy, I do.
Oh, nice bit of goofy behaviour from the nice little goofy man.
Seriously, I don't know why you not even watch me. I'm crazy. Right. Okay. I don't need... Oh, bloody hell. You know what? It'd be faster to just look it up on bloody internet. Oh, stop giving me bloody news. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Right, okay. So, VTM humanity. Okay, so... Ah, Canada. Right. So here we go. Yeah, that's because they're the Great Guard. Whose turret was it? Who did it belong to? If it was settlers that it belonged to, then that'll be why. Yeah. So yeah. So intentional property damage is 5. So if you are above humanity 5, property damage will towards non-hostiles will cause that. Right, so what I'm doing here, I will keep an eye on the chat, but I need to try and concentrate at the same time. Pardon me. I'm still not quite better yet from my illness, but I'm getting there. I'm on antibiotics now. Blech. Makes me feel shitty. Right, okay, so we need to make sure that they're not... Ah, there we go. It's already there. So we need to make sure they're not in the Tool faction if we're going to give them this dialogue. So... Okay, thanks for making me aware of that. It could be that I have missed a faction out of the exclusions, although that won't be a problem in the new version because I have learned a new way of doing it, which will help a lot. I can do pre-checks on hostility now before the player even engages, which is what I've done in the Skyrim version. I can still add factions as excluded just in case certain factions, but I do have a more reliable system ready for the new version. So I need I need to say that the morality needs to be mesmerization needs to be 4 or more. But for testing, I'm going to set it to 0 because I need to be able to pull it up in game and make sure it's doing its thing before I set a limit on its morality skill. Okay, so what we need now is we need to create a script here. Now, because Bethesda is a pain in the bottom, I'm going to have to close that and reload it. Right, okay. Otherwise it doesn't work properly. So... will this work with alternate start? The one where you pick your life, like what? Yes, it will. Only for Volkihar. Other clans won't be on there because, well, it could be. They could be, but the modder would need to create a patch for that. That's not my mod, so I won't be doing that. But if you choose to start as a vampire, which in the alternate start mod defaults to the Volkihar, then yeah, it will work. Because it's still using the vanilla quest object. It's just been updated. Right. No player vampire quest. Lord knows why you have to reference the quest that it already is a member of in order to make it connect to it, but there you go, that's how it works. Right, so now we need to link this up. We need to link this up. No, done that. Make neutral follower. Right, okay, so right. Player vampire. Oh, apparently I can't spell now. Player vampire quest. As player vampire quest script. Dot. Now I've forgotten what the bloody script was called. Bear with me a minute. I am a silly person. I am a silly person that can't remember things. Right. Player vampire quest makes full follower. Don't crash. It's not been added to the new There's so much noise outside. The Noctophilic strain hasn't been implemented yet because I'm still working on Volkihar, but it will be contracted via a bite or a scratch. Yeah, exactly, Aaron. So if you get attacked by one and they bite you or they scratch you, you can contract it that way. It will be blood fiends that are more likely to pass it to you because they're aggressive and frenzied. But there will be certain areas of the rift where you can come across. Oh, there are. If you're playing the original Sanguinaire for Skyrim, then there are blood fiends, but they spawn at night, and they're not always there. You know, for a bit of randomization, you have to wait for one to attack you. But in this reboot that I'm working on now, which is a completely new build of the mod, I will hand place some in some places. I'm also hoping. I don't want to make any promises up front because because you never know how things are going to go. But I would like to try and get Lamai Baal's altar somewhere in the rift. That would be quite interesting. But yes, I will have certain areas where blood fiends can be found, but it mustn't be. Yeah, so there'll be some in Skyrim. The most likely location that you'll get attacked by one is the rift. The different, if you're playing the original Sanguinaire for Skyrim, the each of the bloodlines tend to be encountered in different places. So, for example, the Cyrodiil ones are lurking around Morthal in that general area. Around Solitude, there's a clan of the Water ones that are an offshoot of Lamai Baal's original bloodline that they can be found. No, they're not. Sorry, that's Periite, the Periite version of Porphyric Haemophilia. They can be found only after completing certain quests. The Morrowind ones are found in Soulstone. Each one has a different area that you're likely to encounter it. So with the Blood Fiends and stuff like that, they will attack you in the Rift area at night, and it's random chance. So it's not, guaranteed. For the sake of realism. But we have to stick to immersion, otherwise it gets a bit silly. So it's completely random chance. It's no guarantee that you'll get attacked by one, but if you do, A, be careful because they're strong. B, yes, they can infect you. Lamai will abduct you when you sleep after you get infected with the noxiphilic strain. Make news rule follower. Okay. Right. My brain has melted. It's all good, isn't it? Don't crash. Oh, that's not the right one, is it? AK speaker as actor. Why did I put a space there? Oh, I am a silly boy. There we go. Compile. There we go. That's what. Oh. I knew it. What's the problem? What? Player vampire quest makes rule. Why is that an issue? Yes, shut up. I know. Oh, because I've been a twit. That's why. Yeah, they are strong and nasty little buggers. I do. The one thing I find a little bit unimmersive with Elder Scrolls Online is the fact that in some areas you get blood fiends in such high numbers, and it just doesn't make sense to me, because it's like if there were that many vampires in an area, the whole place would be overrun before you knew it, and it just wouldn't make any sense. But also, why can you only get infected by specific ones? It doesn't really make sense. You know, it's like you can fight hundreds of bloody blood fiends and never ever catch it, and then in a very specific location suddenly you'll get infected by a blood fiend, and it's like stupid. Right, okay, so we've done that. So now we need to put the effects in for mesmerization, so that it does the screen flash business. So we're going to take that from one of our other bits. So we need these. Do 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 do. Although Dracula didn't have the ability to walk in sunlight in the original story, I think that was a modern adaptation where they modified the lore. What have I done? What have I forgotten to do? Oh yes, I need to add. I need to add this reference alias to the script properties. There we go. Right. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Administrator. The werewolves, again, there was just too many of them around. I mean, they're a supernatural species. They're not very common usually. You know, originally it was something that you had a chance encounter of, and then when you did find them, it was like a whole oh shit moment, you know. But in Elder Scrolls Online, there was just too many of them around, and again, they didn't infect you unless you were in a very specific place in a very specific circumstance. It just didn't really make a lot of sense. We are working on werewolves in this, by the way, as well. Oh, that's a point. Spoiler. Put your fingers in your ears if you don't want to hear this, and I'll give you 5 seconds, and then I'm going to tell you some stuff about what we're doing in Sanguinaire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we are working on werewolves as well in Sanguinaire, and in a similar way to the original Sanguinaire, we are making werewolves far more interesting, being forced to turn when the moons are out, etc. And if you become a hybrid, you will not be able to. You will no longer be forced to turn and have the ability to turn at will, and not be affected by the sunlight if you're a hybrid. We will also be working on the Nimira cannibal system, and making them more interesting. Basically, Sanguinaire is a mod that just globally improves the supernatural aspect of the game, if you are so inclined to play them. Blood Knights. I think Blood Knights are scary. You've seen what they look like. Yeah, I've also seen how they're created. It's not very pleasant. But yeah, the Blood Knights are terrifying when you're a low level, although when you're a much higher level in here, so it's they're not very terrifying then, but they are to begin with. My character in ESO is incredibly powerful. It's just stupid. I can kill those in like one shot. I can kill a lot of things in one shot, to be honest with you. Right. Theoretically, this should be working. I've left the mesmerization skill requirement as 0 for the moment for the purpose of testing, because we need to make sure it works. Yes, we do. Because otherwise, we might find it doesn't. So I'm going to... Oh, that's another thing that really annoys me about Bethesda's creation kit. When you create dialogue, it doesn't add it to the archive. You have to do it manually, and it's such a bloody pain. It's such a bloody pain. Every time you package it, you have to do this, and it's just like... naughty. But then Bethesda aren't very good at their stuff in general. I mean, they're good at making like a sandbox open world environment, but the reason they have a mod kit is basically so that the players can create a world that's more interesting, because they don't really give you a lot. They just give you a nice base sandbox, and that's it. Right, so now I'm going to test this. We're going to test this. We're going to go into the game and we're going to see what happens, and if it doesn't work, I will cry and then come back and find out why. So, also, for any aspiring modders, I know Administrator said that they were looking at making a mod. Never, ever, ever use your live gaming environment. Look, you see, I've got two different folders here. Never have your modding environment and your live playing environment in the same folder, because it will your chances of breaking your mod by the game accidentally overwriting something is incredibly high. Not a good idea to do that. So I have my modding set up in one folder, and I have my gaming, the actual live gaming folder, in a completely different folder. Right, now I just quickly need to sort out the header data, because as I explained in a previous live stream, Bethesda decided to update the creation kit, and now everything that you make in the creation kit will cause the game to crash if you're using a version that's not the anniversary edition. So, because they're bastards and they're trying to railroad people onto the newer version. But it's easy to solve. It's just a number. It's literally just a form number. because that's how dickish they are. Yeah, spoiler about them. They have the souls of vampires. They are rather interesting. I might need to learn more. Yeah, blood knights are interesting. Right, so we just need to. If you're looking to make mods yourself in the future, this is an issue you will come up against. So you literally, if you want it to work with the older versions of Skyrim, well, to work with Special Edition 1.5.97 and Anniversary Edition, you literally just change that from 1.71 to 1.70, and then it will work. Right, because Bethesda are assholes. Okay, let's jump in and see what. Oh no, that's my YouTube profile. No, that's the wrong profile. That's the wrong. That's going to load now, isn't it? I need it on my testing profile. I don't want it on my YouTube profile because that's Dark Skyrim. We don't want to mess with that because we have a series running on that, don't we? Yes, we do. So if you add the feature to let use turn animals, what would they look like? Okay, I'll remember that. I'll remember that, Liam. As for Aaron, I knew it was going to do that. 1 second, Aaron. Bugger off. Let's have a look. Well, what I will probably end up doing, Aaron. Now, I do need to check before I confirm that I'm going to do this. I need to check that it's not going to break the game in any way. But what I will probably do is create a vampire version of the base game animals that have different coloured fur and red eyes. However, due to some mods that people use that do things with race, it could cause problems for people. So the other potential way of doing it is an effect shader that makes them look different. If you have seen how death hounds are created, for example, they are created from dead wolves. ESO shows you that. But with other vampiric animals that are created by harrowstorms and things like that, they look the same. They just have darker fur and their eyes are red. So that will be one way potentially of doing it. We'll have to see. I can't really answer that question until I get to doing that part of the mod. So we shall see when we get to it. Okay, I can't even remember what I'm doing in my test save. Right. Let's have a look then.
Da 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 da.
Oh God, what's happening? Why am I being attacked? Stop it! Leave me alone! Stop being evil! Why am I being attacked by stuff? I'm trying to test things! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! I surrendered already. Right, we're going to go back a save because that is not happening, is it? No. Oh, I know why. Because I was testing humanity stuff. Oh, okay. I've actually been to Scotland. I travelled right through it. It's a very, very nice country. Oh, for God's sake, what's going on here? Scotland is a very nice country. Lots and lots of highlands, and it's the only place I've ever been where you get to see clouds at ground level. It's all very interesting. I need a person to use my spell on. Beep, 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 beep. I don't think I have any ancestors myself in Scotland. A lot of mine came from Europe. Is there a mortal around somewhere I can influence? Nope, because I murdered them all. Oh dear. Let's go back a bit further. I think we might have to go right back to the start. That's all right. It's all right. We're only testing. We're only testing. It's all good. Am I vampirified? Ah, am I vampirified? Yes. Hi. Not you. Right. So mesmerization is limited to your to the NPC's level though, and gets higher with increased skill. So we will still have to work around that. I need to let's make sure it's nighttime. I'm going to get murdered otherwise. A vampire horse. Right. Oh, Shizer. I just realised people probably would have just come in the bar because I sped up time. Right, let's have a look then. Probably gonna have to go. Hi, Hod. Are you too serious? Are you seriously too high a level for me to do anything with? I don't want to try steal. Fuck you, mate. I need a random normal civilian person. I need a civilian person. Where is there a civilian person? I require a civilian person. I'm going to have to go back in the bar, aren't I? I'm going to have to go back in the bar. My favourite... I think, honestly, the Morrowind vampires, specifically the Quara. I like brute force. Oh, I don't want to talk to you. Wasn't supposed to talk to him, was I? Okay, it doesn't seem to be working, does it? Doesn't seem to be working. Right, hang on a minute. I need to try something before we continue. Just make sure this isn't a level cap situation. I need to find out why that's not working. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I bet you I left. I bet you I left a condition in about needing to be in Vampire Stage 2. I got a suspicion that's what it is. But we will correct that in a moment. I just need to check that that is actually what's happening. Not you. Oh, I need a normal civilian. I don't think it's working. Okay, no, it's not working. So we need to... Hang on, where's my feed dialogue? I don't know what's happening here. This is all a bit weird, this is. I think this may be a save game issue. But I'm going to check. I'm going to go back in the creation kit and I'm going to have a look and find out why that's being silly. But I'm pretty sure that it's because since I last used that save... I've made many changes to the mod, and that's probably why. I'm just going to read your message. the nature of the game. Unfortunately, if you are a specific bloodline, you have to deal with their specific bloodline curse, and that isn't always pleasant. Some of them are easier to play than others. The Morrowind vampires were always, because they were based on the actual, they worked the same way as the actual ones in the Morrowind game, and their condition is not pleasant. Because they literally just, they are what they are. Right, I'm just going to quickly check that, but I think it's because that save file is not up to date. I might need to do a new game for the testing. But we're going to quickly check the rules anyway, because I just want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, dearie me. By the way, Liam, if you do decide to get into modding, I'm just going to warn you now. There's going to be a lot of this. What I'm doing right now. Switching into the game, testing stuff, finding it doesn't work, switching out, coming back to the creation kit. It can get very tedious. But unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast, so to speak. Well, because I'm basing my vampire systems on the World of Darkness, they also use dice rolls in code. So yeah, shit luck. Shit luck is never good. The interesting thing, though, is that using dice systems does actually make the game a lot more interesting, because sometimes, like, there's been times when I've been playing as a vampire and I've lost loads of humanity by doing whatever I'm doing. And then there's been other times where I do loads of stuff and I don't lose any humanity, and I'm just like, oh, I've been bloody lucky with the resistance to humanity lost today. It's like it means the game is never repetitive like that. It's always different. It's a different experience every time, and you can never guarantee the outcome of anything. Yeah, I like the Myers bloodline, depending on what role play I'm doing at the time. And yes, the Quora are bloody strong. I love them. I think they're brilliant. Punch and eat everything. Yep, that's the one. Just destroy everything with your fists. They are very strong, the Quora. It's ridiculous how strong they are. But they have weaknesses in other ways, though. So it's it all balances out in the end. Right, let's find out what's going on with this then. Why don't it work? Why don't it work? Eh? Why don't it work? Why don't it work? Probably because I've been a pleb nut. But we'll see. Right, so if the player is not already feeding, if the target... Oh yeah, if the player has keyword vampire and is a Volkihar vampire, because it's a Volkihar ability, is not swimming, is not sneaking. Right, that needs to come out. Vampire status has nothing to do with this. Vampire mesmerization level must be more than or equal to 0. It will be 4 after I finish testing. The subject must not be Dexian. Not a dead body, not a child. Not essential. Must not have already been eaten by a werewolf or anything else that eats things. Yes, it would, because it doesn't change. Although it adds dialogue entries. In the creation kit, the way dialogue works is when you add dialogue entries to an NPC, it uses a different system. So you'll notice in the creation kit that it doesn't mark the quest as modified, because it's specifically a actor dialogue reference table. So if you've got more than one mod that adds dialogue to the same person, they work together. That's not a problem. The only time it's a problem is when you have two mods that do different things and the two different dialogues don't make sense with each other. But otherwise, it's not an issue. Right, he's not in combat. He's an actor type NPC. He's not a vampire. Target is not a vampire. Target is not turning into a vampire. The target is not in the DLC 1 Thrill faction. That's Dawnguard, for anyone who doesn't know. Not... Ah! That's it. Because they're going to get added to that. Okay, he's not already a follower. He isn't sitting, isn't sleeping. Right, okay, so... I can't see any obvious reason why it shouldn't be working other than the one I just took out. Because on the feed one, it requires you to be stage 1 or higher, and it also requires them to be in the Thrall faction, because you would have just installed them in order to feed in the first place. So that's probably why. Although they weren't, so it was checking to see if they were in the Thrall faction. Because they weren't, it was butting out. Right. Okay. Right. I think. See, so this one, the reason the feed dialogue wasn't coming up in the test is because I was level 1. So you've got where is it? Yeah, it's this, because the save wasn't up to date with the new variables. It was looking for a value higher than it was. So that should work now, but we need to sort that out. I don't need to repackage it because I didn't change any code. I only changed properties. So we should be able to copy that ESP in. Modding. I am watching. I will be watching the chat. I just need to make sure I don't make any mistakes here. One moment. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Give me the mod organizer, you little bitch. Right. What if you'll expand on the hunter style as well, similar to audio opener types? If you mean, am I going to expand on the Dawnguard Hunter faction? Yes, I am. I have already started that, but I will also have an independent. I'm going to have an independent vampire faction from the mod itself as well. Hopefully, if things go as I plan. I honestly don't know, Aaron. I don't know what Jonathan Reed's haircut is called. Right. Let's do this. Bloody form numbers. Do. Yeah, I think KS Hair does have some good ones. for role-playing a character like that. There's also the vanilla hair replacer, which I use as well. Right. Okay. So let's get rid of this save because it's not up to date. Right. Let's dive back in here and see what we can achieve. Shadow up. Level up. Shadow up. Yes, as I said, just to mention, because you reminded me, as I said, there will also be hopefully some new shadow abilities. When I'm finished with Volkihar. But we shall see how it goes. Because again, until I get to it, I don't know what I can do with it. So I will work on that when I get to it. Oh! Come along, come along, come along, long, long, come along, come along, come along, come along, come along, come along, long. Ugh. It's very stormy, isn't it? Oh dear, I don't like a bit of storm. No. Right, vampire, let's jump in and see what we can achieve with this. Ugh. Oh God, no, don't do that. Oh dear. That'll do. Right, equip. Do. Oh, whatever, that'll do. We're only doing a test. We're only doing a test, it's fine. Da, 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 da. We need to find a normal NPC. Where's Mr. Drunk Man? Or him? There we go. You now exist to serve me. Okay, follow me. There we go. Works. Oh, I didn't realise that was you, Liam. Thank you. Yes, unfortunately, he did take his own life, but I won't talk about that on YouTube. But yes, it was very sad for all of us. Yep, that's working. That's working. There we go. So we now make thralls. So now we need to cap it. So you need to have a mesmerization level of 4 in order to do that. It's set to 0 at the moment because I was testing. So now we need to put the rule on. In order to make sure that you have to get your skill up first. Of course, the skill progresses with use. So the more you mesmerize people for feeding and stuff like that, it will slowly increase over time. Whether or not it's progressing fast enough at the moment, I don't know. I need to sort of gauge that as I play through the Dark Skyrim series, because that's the best way for me to tell. Now that I've added more ways to use the mesmerization skill, such as using it to persuade people and stuff like that, it should progress quicker than it has done in the series so far. But we will see how that goes. Yeah, we'll see. Right. Come on, creation kit. Let's put. Oh god. Let's do this level thing then, and then we'll be all sorted. The rules. Isn't it good to have rules? Yes, it is. It's good to have rules, isn't it? Little servants that do whatever you tell them to do. One of the parts of being a member. But yes, in the post edit, I can probably remove that. All right, let's do this. Come on. Oh god, it takes so long to load. I have such a powerful machine, and like, the creation kit is just slow as hell. I'm gonna get myself one of those M.2 drives at some point in the future. That'll make it faster. Data transfer is almost instantaneous with those things. I'm using an SSD at the moment. Right, okay, so we should now be able to simply do this. Yeah, that's how it works. So Vampire Seduction is not a spell anymore because the system in the original game was shite. I think everyone will probably agree with that. Like, especially if you miss, like you fire it at someone and miss, and then it makes you wait another 24 hours. What we've done instead is the vampire mesmerization system. When you're in stage 2, 3, or 4 vampirism, you will get dialogue to mesmerize someone to feed on them, and in addition, it gives you the opportunity to lead them away from prying eyes so that you don't get seen. Yes, it does. Similar to what we saw in Vampire. It lets you mesmerize them and then lead them away before feeding on them, which is always good. Been playing your mods for a good amount of time since I wanted to play Vampire in Fallout. One day and looked up Vampire mods and showed up. Oh god, that's going back a while. This was released ages ago. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. There are other vampire themed mods for Fallout, but none of them went really that extensively into detail. So I wanted to make something. I wanted to make something different, something that really dug into that aspect of it, but also put it in the game in an immersive way, so that it's there but not in your face, so to speak. So it's one of those things that can happen to you, or you can accidentally stumble across, but isn't there straight away when you start the game, like really obvious. Because, you know, vampires are solitary creatures and nighttime creatures, and they would need to be careful to conceal their vampiric identity. So, you know, we wanted to do it in an immersive way, and the whole mod is based on, but not actually, World of Darkness. So we didn't want to run into copyright issues. So we had to create our own systems and stuff like that. But it used the World of Darkness as a template for how we wanted to do things. Right, that's done. It's all done. There we go. Right, good. So now we can copy that over. I've lost it now. Why? Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play Atom Guard. I understood the concept of what they were trying to do, but it didn't sit quite with what I wanted from a vampire mod, if that makes sense. As for FPS, yeah, I wanted to create something different, you know, something a bit more in depth. I mean, I understand Atom Guard did do some in-depth stuff, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. And then when I realised that he didn't have what I was looking for, I was like, you know what, I'm going to create it myself. I have a long history of being a programmer. I mean, way before I was looking at anything to do with Skyrim or Fallout, I used to work as a programmer in my job. So I knew it was something I could do, but then I had to learn the scripting language. For Bethesda's system, so that took a while. And then I had to work out how Bethesda's game engine works, which took a while. Still learning because some of their methods aren't as good as they could be. Honestly, as a programmer myself, some of the ways that Bethesda do things don't seem very professional to me. I mean, when you look at some of their code, sometimes it's ridiculous how messy it is. Here's a good example. Oh no, I don't want to do that. No, go away. Here's a good example. What am I? Hang on, my brain's melted. I'm being silly. Hang on. I'm getting myself distracted, that's why. Here's a good example. So when they released Dawn Guard, they still didn't fix this, but one of the things that was an issue... Oh, shut up out there. One of the things that was an issue in the base game, and then they didn't fix it in Dawn Guard, was that the vampires, when they went to different hunger levels and their abilities switched out for stronger ones, it was done so crudely. Like they would literally take the spell off the player and then add it again. And what that caused was every single time, if you had an ability in your favourites, it would remove it because it removed the spell from you, and then you'd have to keep adding it back, and it was a pain in the butt. So, and they had, you know, this huge piece of code specifically to detect which spell you've got in your hand, switch it out, put another one in, and re-equip it. I'm like, for fuck's sake, why not just use a perk object to change the potency and cost of the spell based on the hunger stage they're in at the time? That way it doesn't have to remove the spell, and it doesn't have to keep switching stuff out every 5 minutes, and it doesn't have to load an enormous piece of code every single time you change your hunger stage. So we fixed that because that was a big pile of poo. Right, I just need to quickly change that. Save. Oh, I can't see the chat because a thing's popped up. I will look at that later. Incremento Bloodline. Oh, yes. The Incremento are based on the Bruja from World of Darkness. And yes, Bruja are all about physical prowess and embracing the beast within. So yeah, they're actually my favourite bloodline as well. I always play my World of Darkness character when I do tabletop roleplay is a Bruja, and he's an Ancillary. He was turned during the First World War, and he has an extra ability which I did actually put into the mod, by the way. He has an extra ability that the members of that bloodline don't normally have, and that is Dominate. Because any vampire can learn any discipline, but they have specific ones that they have as part of their bloodline by default. but the Krystian's personality was very domineering, so he gained dominate as part of his transformation. Yeah. Yeah, Fagin has a high persuasion, a very high persuasion resistance because he's working for another vampire who has mind controlled him essentially and made him a thrall. But you can persuade him if your charisma's high enough. But the Fagin's reaction is different depending on what bloodline you are as well. There's some bloodlines that make him panic because he thinks you're there to arrest him. Yeah, Krystian's Vitae. Yeah, that's it. Well done. Right, ladies and gents. I think that's all I've got time for today. But there you go. You got to see the next part being done. Soon I will be starting work on the... I think I'll be working on some of the new spells that I want to add in next. That'll probably be the next part, but I need to assess what I can and cannot achieve with that and try and work out what I'm doing with that. So hopefully in the next live stream I'll have some idea of what I'm doing with that, and then I'll be able to demonstrate. There will be some other changes to some of the abilities they already have based on skill level as well, but I will try to keep everything within the specific live stream that is talking about that specific thing so that it doesn't confuse everybody, including myself. But yes, so there we go. Thank you all so much for watching this live stream, and if you're having a good time watching these live streams and if you're enjoying the mod development so far, then let me know by hitting the like button and putting the comments and all that stuff, because that helps me understand who likes what. And if not, then don't, because that would be silly. And as always, I will see you next time. Farewell!